Hi guys, welcome to Car Service App using Flutter Part-3. In the previous Part 1 and Part 2 videos, we were discussing regarding the description of the entire cars that we could rent for. And in this video, we shall just extend it a little bit to give a bit more detailed description of the particular car what the user selects. And hope you have checked out the part 1 and part 2 videos, and if anybody is new to this video, I would recommend you to kindly check that part 1 and part 2 videos first, because so then you will be getting a clear cut idea of how the app is getting shaped. Okay, alright, in this video the UI what we will be developing will be looking more likely like this. And as usual, before entering into the coding part, I would like to discuss regarding the widgets what I have used for rendering this UI. Entire widgets what I have used in this screen is wrapped inside a column widget. So as you could see that these all the widgets is aligned in a column wise manner, and the first child for that column is a row, and you could see here these two text widgets and this image is a row, and the first child for that row is again a column widget within which that column has two children with this the text widget, that is the gradient text I have used. And this available is nothing but a text that is wrapped inside a container where I have given the container color as green. And the next child for that row is again a image you could see, which is spaced between. Okay, and the next second child for the column main column is a container, and I have just specified the width and height for the container. And that child for the container what you could see is the row, and as usual as said before, that row has a first child as a column and the second child as again an image. The first child is aligned in a column based manner, and next is the image. Then the third child for that column is again a container, a list of four containers that is wrapped inside a row. So the third child is actually a row, contains four containers, and the child for each container is a column which contains the icon and the text, and which is repeated for all the remaining containers. And the next child what you could see here is a simple line like thing, is actually a container where I have specified the width is double dot infinity, that is the maximum width it could take, and the height is 2.5 more precisely. So it is just looking like a simple divider, but it is not actually a divider, it is a container where I have given or specified the color as a linear gradient. And the next child is a row which contains the first child as the text for the row and the second child for the row as a button, where the button has a child which is a row, and that row contains the text and the icon. And this button I have wrapped inside a container so that to get that smooth edge what you could see. And the last child is actually a list view what I have used, and with scrolling option as top to bottom, that is its vertical scrolling option. And inside that list view it takes the children widget, and the first child for that list view is a card. This is the card what you could see, and for each card the child is a row, and for first child for that row is an icon here you could see, and the second child for that row is a column, that is these two text. And at last the last child for that row is again a simple text denoting the amount and an icon, which is again wrapped inside a row. And all other cards just follows the same as the first. Hope you got an overview of the widgets what I have used. With this idea, let us just dive into the coding part. In the info.dart file, what we have discussed in the previous part, let us now have an on-tap event over that BMW car first. Okay, so we just need to navigate to this details page whenever the user have an on-tap event over that card part which describes that BMW. Okay, so let us just have a navigator first. We need to push the user into the context and material page route, followed by the builder, which is the context, and we need to specify the page, that is the dart file, sorry, the class name, that is details page. We just need to define it, so just showing error, don't worry. Now in the details page, let us create a stateful widget, and details page, just import this material.dart and so we need to have colon right, format it. Now we'll be just navigating the user to the details page, which is this one. So here is what will be developing all those widgets what you have seen in the previous image that is discussed before. Now it's time to have the container as scaffold. Okay, now inside that scaffold let us have a body, which first let us define the padding. As usual, the padding edge inserts dot, I don't want all, I just want for top. I just give the top value as 50. I just want to leave a gap of 40 pixels on the top. I just don't want that to be close to that very top, and on the left and right as well I just want to have 10 pixel gap on both sides, so I'm just defining it as 10 pixels. So the padding takes the child, which is the column, this is the main column within which we will be specifying the entire widgets what we have seen before. And for that column let us specify the cross axis alignment as cross axis alignment dot start. I just want all the widgets to be get started on the leftmost corner, and the column takes the children widget, and the first child are seen before. So we are in the stage of now we will be developing that container that available as well as the BMW gradient text what we have seen before. Hope you remember that. Now we will be developing that, which is actually that row. So let us specify the main axis alignment as main axis alignment dot space between. I just want that two children to be spaced at the very end. I just want the first child to be at the leftmost corner and the right to be on the rightmost corner. So I'll be using the main axis alignment as space between, with which we'll be specifying the children for that row and the first child, which actually is a column. Okay, within which we'll be specifying that BMW and available text, that gradient and available text. And I said before that available is actually wrapped inside a container, so we shall specify the containers. I just want the text inside the container to be aligned in the center, so I am giving the alignment as alignment dot center, followed by which just want to give a bit decoration for that container using the box decoration, and color what I'm specifying is colors dot green, and followed by which the border radius we could give, which is border radius dot circular with a value of 5, which should be more appropriate. Format it. Now here just created a container with few decoration and a color. Now it's time to give width for the container. Let me give it as 90, that is the width, and height as something 20. And it's where it takes the child, which is the text widget, which is the available, and you could specify the styles using the style of text style, where I will be giving the color for the text, which is colors dot white, and font weight as font weight dot bold, and font size we could specify, should be nice. I am giving it as 15. Just format it. Now we have just given the we have just developed that container. Now it's time for that lean gradient text. Okay, before that let me leave a bit spacing between those column children, that is I am giving the height value as 5, and followed by which it takes the gradient text. Here a gradient text, sorry. Okay, now the gradient text will be what is the name of that car, I8, followed by equal apply style, that is the text style, which takes the font size as 25 and font weight as font weight for font weight dot bold, and we need to specify that gradient color now. This time where we could specify that gradient, which is the linear gradient that takes the color, says the colors of, let me give the values, which is ff1000, 3 zeros, followed by another color with the value 0x ff2508, again ff. Now just, it's not colors, it's actually color, so it's showing error. Okay, now we shall now just create that column that contains the container as well as that gradient text. Now it's time to develop that image, that is the BMW logo what we have seen, which is outside of this column, so we can just jump out of that column for now. Now you can give the image as image.assert with the, sorry, parent we will be giving the path, which is png, and you need to specify the fit as box fit dot contain, and I too will be specifying the height as 55 and width as 55, formatted. Now we have just succeeded in rendering the first child for that column. Now we shall just develop the container, that is the pink color like container what we have seen. Okay, you can now jump out of this row and just leave a gap of something around 10. Okay, and I will be wrapping that inside that hero widget, which is actually a small animation like effect, which is okay. Tag as BMW. What this tag we have defined in the info.dot file, and that child for that hero is the container. Okay. Now inside that container, let us specify the width first. With this double dot infinity, and so it is I am just allowing that container to take the maximum width it could, but we have already set the parent constraint as left and right value as 10 pixel gap, so it will be having a gap of 10 pixels. Okay, and height I am explicitly giving it as 150, and you can also give decoration for that container where it takes the box decoration. You can give the gradient as linear gradient, where we need to specify that begin, where it should begin the coloring. It has alignment dot top right, and it should end at alignment dot bottom left. Format it. So I just said that where it should start the coloring and where it should end, and it's time to give the color values, which is color of followed by the color value, which is 0x. Now we can just give it is just pink, so we can just colors dot pink. Be nice, more precisely of 100. All right, and another color as colors dot pink. Okay, all right, let's format it. So we just need to close that. All right, format it. All right, nice. Now you have just given the color for the container, and it's time to set the border radius as well. We could use border radius as border radius dot circular, which is the value 10. Okay, now let us okay, now we have just developed the container initial steps. It's time for the children, and the child inside that container need to take the edge inserts value. I just gave a pixel value of 10 on both left and right side, a small gap on both the horizontal manner, followed by which we'll be having the child for that padding, which is the card actually. So the card is actually inside that container. Okay, the card I won't be giving the color for that card, so let us set it as colors dot transparent because we have already defined the color for the container above. Okay, now we shall just need to set the elevation as 0 also, because if you didn't set this elevation, then you will be having a something shadow like image, that is the card over the container. So you need to specify the elevation as 0, followed by the child for that card is actually a row which defines the car image and that amount per day. Before giving the children widget, we need to specify the main axis alignment as main axis alignment dot space between. So I just want those children, those two children inside that row to be spaced at the very end. As said before, I just want them to be at the corner placed. So I'm just giving space between, and the children, the first child for that row actually takes the column. Okay, now the column in turn will have the main axis alignment as main axis alignment dot center. Okay, and the children widget, what it would take is nothing but the text, simple text widget, which specifies the amount. Say for example it's 35, and the styling what we could apply for the text using the text style, which takes the color, sorry, start white, and font size as something 15, and I just want the font weight as font weight dot normal. Alright, format it. Okay, so now we have just given a text, which is, you can just copy the same and have it over here, where we just need to specify per day. Okay, with the change in font, all the things all are same. Here you can just make this as bold. Okay, should be nice looking. Okay, now we have just created a column with two text fields, that is text widget actually, the amount per day. Okay, now we just need to develop that image on the right side, so we can just jump out of this column for now, within which we will be specifying that image. Okay, using the image dot assert and specifying that, okay, location asserts and as usual you can use the fit as box fit dot contain, and height you could specify as 150 and width as same 150. Okay, format it. Alright, now we have just completed creating everything inside that car, that is the column. So we can just jump out of this column, that is the hero, is where the column ends. Okay, now we just need to give a spacing as well in the size box, the height as 10. Okay, now we just need to focus on creating that 4 containers, which defines the whether the car is a petrol car, what is the kilometer plate it could give, and all those things. So this time to develop that car, which is actually wrapped inside that row. Okay, alright, wherein we will be giving the main axis alignment as main axis alignment dot space evenly. I just want them to have equal spacing between them and cover the entire screen with. Okay, which takes the children widget, and the is first child, that is the container. Okay, is takes the column, where we need to specify the children widget as container. Alright, container will be now taking that decoration first, which is the box decoration, where we can specify the color, which is colors dot light blue of 100. Alright, and we just need to specify the border radius, which is border radius dot circular of 10. Just align it. Okay, and we need to specify that width and height for that container. Let me set it as 75 and width again as 75. So perfect square like. Okay, the container now takes the child, which is the column. Okay, in this column is where we will be specifying the icon and the text. Okay, this column will be taking the children widget and the first child. Before that, let me give the size box some spacing on the top. Okay, so I'm giving a spacing of 10 pixels on the top, so then it would be looking something which is aligned at the center of that container. Okay, icons dot something, anything you could give, followed by could specify the size as 35 and color as colors dot blue of something a bit darker than that container's color, so I am just setting this 700. Okay, again we just need to have a gap, so just copy it where you just have a gap of 5 pixels should be good, and you just need to specify the text, which is automatic, and style for the text could give us a font size, could set it as something 10 would be more appropriate, followed by color as same as that of the icon colors, blue of something 700, same as that of icon. Okay, just format it. Now we have just created a single container. Now we can just copy paste this column, okay, to have another container where we can just change this to be pink, and the icons what we could use would be people, and now it is pink, so we could specify this as pink. Alright, now we have just created another container, and the third container we could specify that color as orange, and here orange, and the icons what you could use is something network check will be good, orange. Alright, and there are wordings, it is car gives 45 kilometers per liter. Okay, where does this column end? Alright, the last container, which is where you could specify the color as green. I think green would be good, green and green, where you need to specify it as I think the icon name is local gas station. Yeah. Sorry. Now we have just created 4 containers which is wrapped inside that row. Okay, now we can just jump out of that row and we can just develop that line, like that is a line is actually a container with the height. Let me give the value spacing. Okay, now we just need to have a container which takes the height as something 2.5, which would be something like a line. Okay, and for that container we need to specify the color, which is actually the decoration. We say that box decoration, we could specify that gradient color, which is the linear gradient. Okay, with the color values as colors of where the color value I could give it as some hex value already given in the top as ff25 08 followed by ff, and another color value where the value is 0x followed by ff100. Okay, format it. Now if I just specified the color for the container, now we can just have the same spacing after the container also. Alright, this 14 would be good, some extra gap. Okay, now we just need to develop that last child, which is, before that we need to specify that another gradient text what we have seen, that is the rental charges as well as the button, that is the rent now button. Now we can develop that one. Okay, so that those two things will be wrapped inside a row, and for that row we could give the main axis alignment as main axis alignment dot space between. Okay, and the row will take the children widget, and the first child for that row is a gradient text where we need to specify the wordings. That is renting. Alright, renting charges, and you could apply style for the text, saying the text style, where I'll be specifying the font size first. It should be 20, and font weight I just want it to be bold, so I am just giving font weight dot bold. Okay, now we just need to specify the gradient as linear gradient, where you need to specify the color, so it should be more of same as this, so you can just copy paste it. I think this will work, right? Just you can just have interchange those color values for good looking. Alright, now we shall just jump out of that gradient text, and it's time to specify that flat button. Okay, which is actually wrapped inside a container, where I would be specifying the height for the container as 35, and decoration using the box decoration, because I just want that button to have smooth edges, so I just specify that using the box decoration, where the border radius as border radius dot circular with the circular value of something 7 would be good, and we need to give the color for the container. Okay, so the container actually takes the color which is same as that of this, so we could just copy paste this one. Hope it works. Alright, I'm giving the same color. Alright, now you can just interchange these values, so because it will be looking same as black and blue and red, just interchange it. Okay, now can also specify the begin and end, where you need to start the coloring pattern and where is the end, using begin as alignment dot center right and end it at alignment dot center left. Alright, okay, format it. Now we have specified the coloring and the border radius for your container. Now we can give the child, which is actually a row. Okay, inside that row takes the children widget, where the first child is a flat button which takes, now let's specify that on press as something empty, followed by the child we need to specify for that button, which is the text that we need inside that button. Okay, where it is rent now, and you could also apply styling for the text. Should put same as that of this, I think. Okay, just copy paste it for time sake. And with the change in font size or something, maybe 15 would be good, I think, and font color as white, because already it is a gradient color, the container, so the white color would be something matching for that. And after the flat button we can specify the icons dot navigate next, and you could also specify the color with the colors dot white. Okay, now we have just set that row that takes the text widget and the button. Now we can just jump out of that, and it's the last child what will be defining for that. Before that we could give the height as well, which is the 10 gap, and the last child I'll be wrapping that inside the expander widget, and the child it takes is actually the list view. Okay, the list view will in turn take the children widget. Okay, and before that we can also, okay, first let us define the children widget for that list view. The first child for the list view is a container. Okay, the container where we need to specify the width first, which is double dot infinity, maximum width it could take, and height I'm setting it as something 75 would be good, and the child for that container is the card. Okay, inside that card we could have the padding, because I just want all the widgets what I'm going to give inside that to have horizontal spacing of 10 pixels. I'm specifying that also, and that padding will in turn take the child, which is the row. So the entire children inside that card is actually wrapped inside that row. Okay, and the first child for that row is what is the icon. Okay, cons dot, which is departure row. Okay, and size I'm setting it as 35, and color as colors dot green, should be good. And now we can specify, or we can just first leave a gap first. Okay, using the sized box. Here we need to specify the width because it is a row. So now we need to specify the width, that is give it as 7.5. Okay, and it's time to have the second child for that row, which is the column widget. So inside this column widget is where we will be having those two text fields, what you could see in the starting of the video. And we could specify the main axis element as main axis element dot center, and the cross axis element as cross axis element at start. Okay, now the column takes the children widget with the first child as a text, which is per day option of charging the customers. And you could specify the style using the text style, and within which we will be giving the font size as something 15. Okay, and color, you can also specify the color as well. Sorry, color as colors dot big gray would be good. And font weight, I just want that to be bold, so you can specify the font weight as bold. Okay, format it. Now we can just copy this thing, this text widget, entire text widget, because the same is going to be repeated with change in the wordings, where the user will be picking the car at random days, and font size is something 20, and just no need to give the color. Let us take the default color, that is the black color, and all other things is same. Okay, now I think we have just developed the things, that widgets that is on the left hand side, and we shall now focus on the thing that is the amount that is on the right side. Now let us grab this row inside another row. Okay, and within that row the first child will be this one. Okay, just copy paste it, format it. Okay, and the second child for that row would be the amount. Okay, row which takes the children widget. Here is where we will be specifying the amount for the car rent for a day. Okay, and just have some amount as the amount we could specify as something, an extra charge of $2.5, and we could specify the style as well using the text style. Okay, where I'll be specifying the font size as font weight, let us also specify. Okay, and the font size as something should be 15, and color as colors dot red, format it. Okay, now we have just specified that amount, and out of this text can use sized box to have spacing width of 3 pixels. Okay, now we need to specify the icon. Okay, using icons dot trending app. because the amount is getting raised. So I'm just using this icon. Can use as you wish, and the size I could specify as 15 and color same as that of colors.red. Okay, formatted. Now we have just created a single container. This the first container within that list view, which specifies the amount and the charge. Now we can just copy paste this entire container to describe the amount at each day, or the based on the criteria on what the car is about to be rented. Okay, this time we could charge it for monthly. So for monthly charges, and the month period will be 1 to 6 months. Okay, here the amount what will be providing, or will be reducing the amount by $7.5. Okay, and this time it is actually a reduction in the amount, so we shall have this as green. Okay, and it is trending down. Okay, you can also now have a number of containers as you want inside that list view. Okay, sorry, just have to copy this thing again and just paste it. And another option what we could rent for the customers is external ride, that is renting the car somewhere at a long distance or outside the state. For this we could have additional charges of $4.5, and it's again trending up because the charge is getting raised and it is red because an extra amount is getting paid. Okay, now we have just succeeded in creating all the widgets what we have seen at first. Okay, with this we end up the screen mockup for that car service app. Hope you like this video. If you do so, give a like, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, just subscribe so then you won't miss any of the craziest update that I'm going to post in the upcoming videos regarding this car app. Okay, thanks guys, thanks for watching, stay tuned, bye.